Hello guys, welcome back to my new video. So in this video, we will be explaining about the next phase of our GRC implementation, which is build and test. So this we will be doing in our GRC development system. Like if you have a GRC development system, you'll be doing it there. In some projects, there might be a quality system or in dev systems only. You'll be doing all the testing and development, everything. In some projects, you'll have again a quality system where you have to do all the steps and you have to do the testing there also, and then you need to move it to prod. So it depends on the organizations. Okay, so let's start. So first in build phase, like we have system pre-checks. What are these system pre-checks? Like as I told you, in my previous steps also, there are few system pre-checks, which is like we have a good RFC, we have a RFC connection created or not. So those kind of checks, and we need to check whether that connections are working properly, fine or not. So these are the basic pre-checks which we have to do. So then coming to post-installation steps. So in GRC post-installation steps, the first step is like um, again it will be like verifying the RFC connection, which we have done it already in our previous phase only, and then activating application clients. So okay, activating application clients I have already done, and in the previous phase, like we have to activate the application clients, which is our access control. Like I'll just show you one more time. Okay, so go for governance, risk and compliance, and then general settings. You have this activate application client. Okay, so this is your access control, which we have already done that. And then you can check for SICF services, which is done already. Okay, and if you click on execute, you have this public, BC, and GRC. So these three things needs to be activated. Okay, these three nodes needs to be activated. And coming to the connection, like SM, we have a T code called SMICM. We need to check whether the HTTP and SMTP connections are provisioned or not. This is the T code for checking that SMICM, and here you have this icon, right? So here you have to click on services. So we have these connections already built, and we already have that green color icon there, right? So that's fine. And then this is the step where we activate BC set. Like earlier, we have already activated a BC set for our rule set, since we have to download that, and we have to mm, build some rules, rule sets, or add some rule sets, or update some rules. So because of that, we have downloaded that. We have only activated a rule set for access risk analysis. Okay. Um, so let's start, like go for SPRO. You know, we have a T code also, right? SCPR 20. So I'll just go there. And here, what are the BC sets that you need to activate? Okay. If you give star GRAC star, okay, let's see. So these are the different BC sets which you need to activate. Like this is the first one, access request APPL, application functional mapping, and access request end user personalization, and access request priority. So, and access request type. So why you have to activate these BC sets? Okay, like let me show you. Like I'll, for example, I'll just show you for this access request priority or request type. Okay, so whenever you go for slash OSPRO, and when you click on this, and let me go for access control and user provisioning, and you can see this here, right? Define request type. So when you click on this, from where do these things come from? Like you have not added this, right? The new account, change account, delete account, unlock user. This is not, I think this is not, this is the custom one. And but these things where you can see SOD review, these are the request types, right? So whenever you go and see here, GRAC. So request type, whenever you see this request type and see this request type, so whenever you activate this BC set, this table gets filled down. Earlier, usually whenever you before activating any BC sets, these things will not be filled down. So here, these BC sets are already activated. Because of that, you can see these table is already filled. If you want to show, like I'll just show you GRAC access request type. So when you select this and click on this display icon, you can see the request types there. You can see this, right? Request type 001, 001, 002, 002, and that table which I uh, showed you. So see, this is for the new account, SAP GRAC access request, MSMP process ID. So all these BC sets, all these tables gets filled up using this the same thing only. Okay. So because of this, we need to activate BC sets. So what are the BC sets you need to activate? Whenever you are implementing GRAC access control, GRC access control, then you can see the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and the fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, till seventh, you have to activate. This is for access control. Okay, and the other which you can see here, these things till this GRAC DT request page settings, till this you need to activate. And the other things, these you know already, these are related for rule sets. You have to activate any one, like which as per the system. Like if you are using, as I told you, while activating the rule BC set for rule set, I have activated this S4 HANA all, since we'll be using the Fiori apps also. So you have to activate any one of this, and then coming to the below one, you have these things, right? Role management sensitivity, role status, pre-request methodology, and GRSC role management landscape also. So for this, like whenever you are doing this, uh, what we call BRM, so for that you need these things also to be activated. So once you activate all these things, these are all are related to access control. Okay, since it starts with GRAC. Okay, these things you can activate the role status, pre-request roles type, and the methodology and the landscape. I'll let you know what are these, why these needs to be activated in the BRM class also. Okay, so once these things are activated, the main thing what you have to do is there are other two BC sets which you need to activate. Like in any organization, you have a workflow needs to be configured, right? So for that, you have specifically called MSMP BC set, which is related to that workflows. Okay, you need to activate this MSMP configuration BC set. Okay, so once you activate this, you can see what are the tables gets filled down. See all these, whenever you are going to activate, whenever you are going to configure MSMP workflow, at that time you can see this GRAC access request HR, like, and the first step only you will be able to see these process IDs, right? So they all come from these BCs, this BC set only. So you need to configure this MSMP BC set also. Okay, let me check if we have any other thing. So once this is done, what's the next step is like activate common workflow. Like usually it will be done either by basis team also, but you can also do it like just you can just go and verify that. Okay, for that you have to go for SPRO and you have to jump into this SAP reference IMG, which you already know, and governance risk and compliance. Here you have something called workflow. Why these the steps which I am going to do in this post installation is all related for workflow only. Like if the workflow has to be configured or if the workflow is not working properly, so you might have done mistake in this post installation. You might have done mistake somewhere, some mistake has been done in this post installation steps. So the steps which I'm going to tell now, which is activate common workflow, and the next step will be perform task specific customizing, and then next it will be activate event linkage for access controls, and then activate standard task and activate workflow template task in PFTC. So all these steps are mandatory in order for a particular workflow to be working properly. So these four steps are very important. So whenever you click on this workflow, you have a option called perform automatic workflow customizing. So you just have to come into this and check whether all these things are activated or not. So if this is a tick mark, it means that it's activated, like, or else you can just click on this and click on execute activity. But whenever you are doing that, you have some information here, which is the system user WF badge must be available. Okay, so this user ID must be available. This system user ID must be available. That you can just go and check in your SU01 table, which is already available here. Okay. It's not like you have to go and give SAP all only. Like you have the roles also, which are provisioned here. You can give these roles also. So once you create this user ID, and then you have to activate all these things. Okay. This. So it's just come and verify this step. Once this is done, the next step is perform task specific customizing. So once you click on this, you have this option called GRC. Okay. So here you have these access control, risk management, process control, SPC, access control. So all these things are there, right? So sometimes you might not be able to see this, what we call drop down. Like you'll not be able to see these folders. That's why, because like there is a program called whenever you face that kind of issues, like you have a program called RSAPPL refresh. So you have this program, you can just execute that. Once you execute that, this folders will come into your task specific customizing. Okay. So once you come into this, you can click on assign agents. So once you go there, you'll have plenty of tasks which starts with TS, and if you come down, you have few tasks which starts with WS. Okay. So here you can see this general task, right? So few are already present as background task. These general task will be empty. So here, since we have already done this, I have someone has already done this, so it's showing as general task. Usually here, this task will be blank, wherever you can see a general task. So that line usually will be blank. So at that time, what you have to come and do, just select that line, and then click on attributes, and then you have to select this general task, and then you have to click on not classified, and then click on transfer. So once you do this, the blank will go and you'll get a general task here. So you have to do this for all these tasks till here, which starts with TS. Okay. The background task, let it be the same way. Wherever it is blank, you have to move it to transfer it to general task. Okay. Only for this TS. So once you do this, go back, and you have option called activate event linkage. Here basically what you have to do, you have to come down, and here you have to take care of this WS. So here you can see this, right? Like all these WS are already activated. Usually they will be in a deactivated state in the first time. I'll just show you how to activate them also. So usually these things, like if I go with all those things, everything wherever you see they are activated. Usually they will be not, they might not be activated. So what you have to do is you have to just click on this, and if it is not activated, and then you have to click on event link activated, and then you have to select do not change linkage, and then you can click on tick mark, and if it is not activated, you have to click on that, and then now it will be activated. If it is a deactivated state, it will be activated. So this is the next step. And in next two step, we have to activate standard task and workflow template task, which is like we have a T code for that, which is PFTC. So you'll come into this screen. For this, I have a PDF like where you have to activate specific kind of task. You can see this task type, all type, and here you have to select standard task. I'll show you what are the steps that needs to be done there. Like I have a few task IDs which needs to be done. I'll just open that PDF. Okay. So here if you can see this, open the T code PFTC, select workflow template from the drop down, which is this one. And then what you have to do is type the workflow number. What is the workflow number? So workflow numbers are these. You can see this, right? For SAP GRC, control maintenance and workflow template. This is the process ID, and this is for mitigation control creation. For access request for control, this is the workflow number. So for all these workflow number, you have to activate. So I'll just copy this 7630056. Okay. Let me try to copy and paste it there. Yeah. So once this is done, just click on enter. You can see this, right? And then click on edit. You'll not get that error actually. So once this is done, you can come for additional data, and maintain agent assignment. And here also general or background task, basically these things will be blank. So what you have to do is just click on that. If it is blank, you have to just click on that and you have to make it as general task and click on transfer. Okay, the same thing you have to do it for all these workflow numbers. Okay, that is for work template. And then the next thing is open T-code PFTC, select the standard task. So basically here PFTC. So here you have to go for standard task, and what you have to do is you have to select these numbers. You have to make use of these numbers. I'll just show you these things: 7630, 763080. These things you have to add it there, and then these things you have to add it there, and then you have to make it as a general task, which I showed you for one. Okay. So once this is done, your post installation steps are completed. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show you is you have a T code called SWDD. So here you have to just check whether that workflow is activated or not. For that you can give. So here only you have to check for this WS kind of things, and you need to add WS there and then add this workflow number. Once you click on enter, you can see this, right? The workflow, how it flows. So this is basically the workflow of your MSMP, like what are the things that will be done, and how the escalation stage works, what if no agent is present, what it has to do. So all these workflows will be present here. Okay, so for that you just have to go and check whether this is active or not. Okay, so this is the part, this is all about the post installation steps. Like in next upcoming videos, like first I'll be going to um, show you access risk analysis, like what are the other different things that needs to be part of an implementation for access risk analysis, and then either emergency access management or business role management, and then finally we'll go for access request management. Okay, so once this is done, I'll be taking a few things like what are the daily activities that you'll be doing in. I'll make a separate videos for that, for access risk analysis. If you are, what are the activities you'll be doing in access risk analysis? What are the activities you'll be doing in emergency access management? And what kind of activities you'll be doing as a, BRM administrator? And what different things you'll be doing in access request management. Okay, so for all these four modules, like I'll be showing you. As a real time, like in real time what you'll be doing. Other than that, implementation part, I'll show you what things needs to be done for in order to implement all these four modules. Okay, and what kind of master data needs to be present for all these four modules. So thank you for watching my video. I'll also try to add few more videos on Fury. I have seen many people commenting with few of the questions, like I'll just make a video for that. So thank you. Kindly like, share and subscribe.